Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
We are from Group 1.
We will explain about hip disc articulation processes.
Before that, let us introduce ourselves. My name is Elizabeth Ronauli Bakara.
My name is Pinkan Amalia.
My name is Alenur Aziza.
My name is Ali Tamam.
Enjoy the video.
Hip disc articulation is the surgical removal of the entire lower limb at the hip joint. Often performed due to severe trauma. Infection or malignancy. This procedure results in significant changes to mobility and may require specialist prosthetics for rehabilitation. Then hemipelvictomy is a procedure involving the removal of part or all of one side of the pelvis. It can be performed as an internal hemipelvictomy, limb preserving, or an external hemipelvictomy with the amputation of lower limb. So for the anatomical challenges, main issue was about the patient mortality due to blood loss and post-surgery infection. Improper handling, detachment of remaining muscle can lead to necrosis and infection. Patient lost the entire lower limb, including the hip joint, result in high energy cost in prosthesis or wheelchair dependency. Hip disc articulation surgery remove almost 20% of body mass. Energy expenditure of hip disc articulation patient is estimated 200% greater than normal human gait. For success fitting, require good balance, strength of lower abdominal and pelvic stability. No residual limb for bear the weight, so the suspension is above the iliac crest. For the prosthetic consideration, not every hip disc articulation patient choose to wear a prosthesis due to require high energy. Some patients use a wheelchair primarily and using the prosthesis for specific tasks. One of the consideration for designing hip disc articulation prosthesis is well-motivated patient and support network from their family and friends. For the function of hip disc articulation prosthesis is first is containment of residual limb, then transfer weight bearing to the prosthesis, and ML stability and control of the prosthesis during gait.
Okay, for the next is self-suspension. For the hip disc articulation prosthesis, the suspension is above the iliac crest. And for the external suspension, use pelvic belt and shoulder sling or shoulder strap. And then the next is we're talking about the alignment. The first is alignment for endoskeletal prosthesis from sagittal plane. The first is half AP diameter, effect divided by 2. The second, hip joint 45 degree. The third, knee joint slightly posteriorly from TKA line. The fourth, single axis foot, half foot length, and such foot posterior 1/3 from the heel. From coronal plane, hip joint is placed at a quarter of socket ML and shifted 10 mm laterally to amputated side. If obese patient or more stability needed an additional 10 mm shifting to lateral. The axis is placed 15 until 20 mm higher than MTP. Hip and knee axis are parallel to the floor. Weight line passes through the centers of hip joint and knee joint at midheel. From the transverse plane, hip axis is 5 degree external rotation. Knee and hip axis should be parallel. Foot 5 until 7 degree of external rotation. The next is alignment for endoskeletal prosthesis. The location of hip joint axis in anterior distal to that of anatomic hip joint, about 3.5 cm from bottom surface and 5 degree of external rotation from transverse plane superior view. For the note, this is the same as endoskeletal system for coronal and sagittal plane.
And next is socket biomechanics for weight bearing on HD patient. The main weight bearing is on ischial tuberosity and on the gluteal area and soft tissue. And for the total contact socket, the pressure tolerant area is on the IT and anterior posterior soft tissue. And for the relief area or bony prominence on the iliac crest and axis. So this is the socket force during each phase of gait. For the first is on the initial contact, the pressure is on the anterior proximal and posterior distal, and also on the weight bearing area on the IT. And for the loading response, the socket force is on the anterior proximal and also posterior distal, same with the initial contact. And for the mid stance, the pressure is only on the distal. Next, for the terminal stance, the pressure is on the posterior proximal and anterior distal, and on the distal stump. And the press swing is same with the terminal stance, but with more bigger pressure. Next, so this is component for modular prosthesis. First is socket, second is hip joint, third is tube clamp adapter, fourth is the knee joint, 5 is cover foam, and 6 is pylon, and 7 is foot prosthesis. So this is hip joint exoskeletal picture, and the ICRC joint, and also the modular hip joint.
So the gait analysis. So the first instability of hip joint, so the causes extension bumper. If to thick for the bumper, socket tilt anterior, and then if too thin, socket tilt to posterior. So the second one is instability of knee joint, incorrect angle of the hip joint, resulting in the knee unit located too far forward from the alignment line. This situation will result in an unstable knee joint. So the abducted or weight walking. So the from you can see from the anterior, and then extension height is too tight, and then prosthesis is too long and too much friction on the knee joint.
Y yo me le pego, él se me pega cuando se baja lo chacalea. Yo se lo pido y él me.
So lateral trunk bending, and then a little support from the socket at the proximal sound side, and prosthetic foot placed to lateral. And then circumduction, hip joint too much internal rotate. The second insufficient suspension or piston action, and then foot set in excessive plantar flexion. So the faulting, so the causes poor suspension and inadequate deflection and excessive length of the prosthesis. So for the whips and hip or knee joint axis are too far in internally or externally. Then socket rotate on the stump and foot set in excessive to in or out.
Whips, both medial and lateral, are typically caused by malrotation of the knee bolt. Careful observation of the direction of the heel at toe-off can suggest the solution. When the heel of the prosthetic foot moves laterally in the very beginning of swing phase, the individual is said to have a lateral whip. If the knee axis of the prosthesis is in excessive internal rotation, the heel will be away from the midline of the body at toe-off and a lateral whip will be seen. Internal rotation occurs in non-pathological
So first, picture A and picture B. So which one is hemipelvectomy? So the answer, picture B.
For the second question is, please mention one of the function of hip disarticulation prosthesis. The answer is containment of residual limb, transfer weight bearing to the prosthesis, and ML stability and control of the prosthesis during gait.
Okay, for the third questions, there are two pictures. Which one? The exoskeletal hip joint. The answer is picture A.
Okay, for the last question is, what is the name of gate of this video? And you can see this video first. So the answer is halting.
Okay guys, that's all from us. I hope you can understand our explanation.
Thank you for watching.